Just a minute.
అది కావాలంటే నువ్వు మామూలుగా రేపు ఉదయం నేర్చుకొస్తావు కదా.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about file handling in C programming. So far we used to get a input for the programming through some scanf function we used and other functions, that is the input functions, and through output function we have printf and other output functions. So here in this functions we can able to get only the value for the variable which is declared, and here in certain cases we also get an input through file. So these are the topics we are going to discuss in this video lecture. What are the different types of file opening modes? So first of all, start with file opening. How to open a new file, that is the existing file or the new file, how to read the contents from that file, and you wanted to do some execution over that file, you can. Also, you can write some new content into the file, or you can copy the contents of one file into another file. So these are the several operations you can perform over a file. And next, the file definition, how to declare a file opening function and how to define all those things. And whatever the file which you are open for different purpose, it must be explicitly closed by the user. Until the user closes the file, it stay open, so it doesn't release the buffer which is reserved for this file operation. And the next one is the file opening mode. What are the different purpose, why you are opening the file, for which operation, whether it is for reading a file content or some content you wanted to write, or you wanted to add some new data into that file, that is in the appending mode, or you wanted to perform both, either reading or writing. So these are the things also we are going to discuss in the file opening modes. And reading and writing operations in file. So this is the overview about the topics what we are going to discuss today. And before getting to that, we must know what is the file. So here in this case, file is a collection of related data that is going to be treated as a single unit. So you have a several data in a single file. So everything is going to be treated as a single unit. That is called as a file. It's a collection of different types of data. So already I discussed array is a collection of similar data. Here file it is more like a structure. It's a collection of dissimilar data. Okay, so in this notion of file, we have the name or the term called as stream. So what is a stream? Stream is a continuous flow of data. Let's say for an example, whenever you are downloading a file, or you are going for any online live programs, so it says like it is streaming, correct? What is that? exactly represent for streaming means the continuous flow of data from one end to the another end. In the network aspect, it is the data packets are going to be exchanged between the peer end. So now here we are going to interface this stream, or the stream is going to help us to read the data from one file and the writing the data into the another file, and also it will help us to do some certain operation like you wanted to add more content into an existing file, or you wanted to override some contents. So all these operations are supported through this stream that is attached as an interface for an file. So that is the exact function of the stream here. So it is a very important under this file concept, streams. So coming back again, the file. So internally, a file is referred to as a file pointer. So you know what is a pointer, right? Here we are using the file pointer. So pointer is on a variable which is used to hold the address of the another variable. Correct? That is the pointer. So internally, a file is referred as a file pointer. So here it is going to be considered as a file pointer. So whenever you wanted to perform any file operation, first thing you must do is declaring a file pointer. So what is this file pointer exactly? It's pointed to the structure that contains the information about the file. So generally what I said, pointer is an variable which is going to hold the or points to the address of the another variable. Here in this case, this file pointer is a structure which is it's a pointer which is going to point the structure. What is the structure definition I gave? It's a collection of dissimilar data items. So this structure is going to contain the information about the file. So file pointer is going to point to the structure which is going to contain the information about the file. So then next we will see about how to open a file. So already I mentioned that. So whenever you wanted to do any file operation, first you must declare a file pointer. So here you can see that that is a declaration of file pointer. So the pointer representation here preceded with the symbol asterisk. It's a file is a type name, and it's like a integer, but here file is the structure type. What is the type of the file is the structured type of file pointer we are declaring here. And also one more function help us to do the file operation, nothing but the file opening function fopen. So that is a one more function call. So combinedly using the file pointer and file opening function, we can able to open any file with the purpose of anything, that is reading or writing or appending, and we can do certain operation over the file, and finally we are going to write and close the file. This is what the objective of any file opening operations. So look at here in this statement. So we already declared a file pointer. So now using the file open function, we are going to open the file, and this file open function will take a two string argument, namely the name of the file and the file opening mode. So you can see that the file opening mode you need to specify here and the name of the file. This is the syntax for opening a file, and that is a file pointer here before it need to be declared under the structured type. So example, you can also see the example here, that is a file pointer is equal to fopen file opening function and takes the argument of name of the file. So here taken as input data.txt as a file name, and the file opening mode, the purpose of opening this file is for r represent reading a file. So whatever the data content on this file is going to be going to read, and it is going to be assigned to the file pointer. So this is about how to open a file. And there are several file opening modes. So totally there are 6 operations you can perform. Primary 3 operations are read, write, and append. R represents the mode of file opening mode, or represent the read, and W represent the write, and A represent the append. So these are the 3 primary operation. Because so if you take any databases is how you can define a database. Database is the collection of interrelated tables. So these tables are represented in a simple file. So it's a collection of file as a whole. We can say the any database is going to have a collection of table or the files. So whatever the operation we can perform over the database. So mainly we are going to store the data into the database and extract whenever it is required. You can extract the data and do some operation over the data manipulation over it. So these are the primary operation over any databases. Similarly, here whatever we are going to store, it is in the form of file. So the file, anytime you can read the file content, or some cases you wanted to write some data in it, and some cases you need to add some additional data in that. That is called as a append. So R plus represent, these are the 3 primary operation. Beyond that we have R plus, W plus, and A plus. R plus represent read and append, and W plus represent write and append, and A plus represent append. Either you can read or write operations you can perform along with the append. So these are the different file opening mode you need to specify. So here you have specified here one of the file opening mode is R represent. You are opening the this file in the intention of reading the file content. So R is the one of the primary file opening mode. You open an existing file for reading only. So R represent for read, that is open for existing file for reading only. So in this case, so read means sometimes you are not able to find the file that is the available file. Some cases it is not available, so you need to throw a error, that is that file is not exist. So the second case, write, open the file for writing only. So in this case we have 2 things. One is file is already exists. If the file is already exists, the initial file contents are truncated into 0 length, nothing but erasing the initial content. You are going to overwrite the new content on that file. So that is the write operation. So if the file is already exists, if the file is not exist on this particular case, the write operation, you are going to create a new file and writing the content in that. So 2 cases, one is file is already exist, you are going to erase and overwrite the file content in that. So existing file content, our initial file contents are erased, the new file contents are going to be written in that. So otherwise the new file will be created. One more file opening mode is append operation. Open a file for append. So append, adding additional data into the existing file. So writing the data at the end of the file only. So here in this case you can see that appending means generally writing the data, whatever the initial content you have, at the end of that file you are going to add the new content. That is called as the appending mode of file opening. So in this case also, if the file is already exists, already some contents are there, already some file is exist, now you wanted to perform append operation, the original contents are unchanges, the output to the stream is appended to at the end of the file. So original contents are retained in this case if the file is already exist. It is the contrast of write operation. You see that append is the one which is the contrast, because the write operation is going to overwrite the file content, but here it is going to retain, it is the contents, original contents are unchanged, it is going to retain the initial contents and it is going to append at the end of the file. So if in case the file is already exist, if the file is not available, then the new file will be created, that is the empty file. This is the third one, appending mode of file opening. So similarly we have R plus, W plus and A plus. So you know that opening an existing file for both the reading and appending. And initial file contents are unchanged, new data are appended at the end of the file. Writing, opening a file
Anal
for
kaka.
reading and writing. If the file already exists, the contents are going to be erased. That is what we discussed.
Corona mother chod.
Difference between others. I can able to hear your voice. If the file already exists, the contents are erased. Otherwise, the new file created. So A plus is open or create the file for both the reading and writing. So opening a file. So
Hey.
the statement, these are the statement for reading and writing statements. This is a sample statement. Like, so first of all, you need to create a file pointer. We discussed in the beginning slides. Every time when you open a file, you need to create a file pointer, and with the help of the file open function, you can able to open a file. What is the purpose? Here we are going to read the data from the file. So file named input data for reading, that is the purpose you are opening the file. Similarly, there is a one more file pointer. It is opened for the aim of writing the file content. So file result for writing, this is the resultant file. So once the files are open, they stay open until the user close them or the end of the program. There are two things in that is the additionally you need to understand that when to close a file, whether you can open a file, the user must explicitly close the file, otherwise it stay open. So the user must close the file. And one more thing, you must know when to close the file. Whenever you are opening a file, you must know whether it is reached to the end of the file content or not. If in case it is reached the end of the file, so you can close that file. So that two concept you need to understand, end of the file, also how when to close the file, right? So one more file example, under the file opening mode, if the file is not exist, it cannot open that file, means it will return the null value. So file pointer, that is a file pointer declared here. File pointer is equal to fopen, name of the file, and then the read data, reading the data from that file. So you can see that that is a file pointer is not is file pointer 1. This is not equal, it is a file pointer 1 is equal to null. If the file pointer is equal to null, then it will return the file, the input file is not exist. So one more example also, in this case we are declaring the two integer type of variables a and b, and the two file pointer 1 and file pointer 2. So file pointer 1 using the fopen, file pointer 1 input data, that is the name of the file for reading. So here fscanf. So generally, you know what is the scanf function will read the data from the file. So here we are using the fscanf for because we are dealing with the file, so that it is represent the fscanf. So file pointer and the two variables. So what this fscanf does, it is a function read the value from the file pointer by the file pointer and assign the values to a and b. Let's say this a and b is having some values 10 and 20. So it is available, it is available in the file named called the input data. So this read mode is going to read the a and b values and assign these values to the a and b. Let's say a is assigned to 10 and b is assigned to 20. So by using the fscanf also you can read the data and assign some values to the local variables a and b. So I said two things in addition to file operation you must read, that is end of the file and how to close a file. So end of the file, what it represents the file indicator informs that the program no more data to be processed. So it is like an indicator. So there are no more data waiting to be processed. There are several ways to check the end of the file. One of the way by using the FEOF. So it is F represent the file and EOF represent the end of the file. So this function return a true or false condition. Based on that you can able to understand that whether the file is reached the end of the file or not. So again we are using if
Table Randy.
position is equal to EOF, correct? So if it is, sorry, once again we are passing f pointer 1 as an argument to
Sir, sir,
FEOF.
sir,
Yes, what happened?
excuse me, sir. Sir, it says the limit is over.
You just hold.
Table Randy.
So we are passing f pointer 1 as an argument for the FEOF. So it will print end of the file is reached. So another way to use the value returned by the fscanf. So you can also declare one more variable. Here in this case I declared a position fscanf. So the fscanf file pointer 1 and it is the integer type, so we have a %d and the variable. So if position is equal to end of the file also, it will throw the end of file reached statement through printf. So one more example for writing two files. So here there are two integer variable a is equal to 5 and b equal to 20 is declared and assigned some values to that variable. So that is a file pointer. All the time you must declare a file pointer to using fopen function. We are opening the file for writing operation because it's writing to the file, and we are using fprintf. Previous case we used fscanf for reading the values from the file and writing into, sorry, assigning into some variable. Here already the file is going to be have some values, a is equal to 5 and b equal to 20. So what this fprintf function will do, it is going to write the values stored in a and b. Whatever values assigned for a and b, which is going to be pointed by the f pointer 2, is going to be written on the file name called the results. And closing a file. So closing a file is very important, especially with the output file. Output is often buffered, so every time user must explicitly close the file whatever he opened. And printf, fprintf need not write or directly into the out disk. So it is going to be flushed once in a while from the buffer. What is the buffer? Before the data actually getting into the process, the temporary medium where you can store the data, that is called as a buffer. So these are the closing statement, how to close a file along with the file pointer. Using the fclose function, you can able to close the file. So fclose file pointer 1 and fclose file pointer 2. This will close the file and release the file descriptor space, whatever the memory space assigned for this file descriptor, and also it can release the IO buffer memory. And one example program. So we have almost done everything, that is out opening a file, and what are the different modes of opening a file: reading, writing, and opening, and closing a file. So one example for reading and writing a file. So starting with the main function, you need to declare a file pointer first. For reading and writing operation, every time you need to declare a file pointer in the type of a structure. Here file, asterisk, out file, and in file. So this is the output file, ultimately represent input file. So there is a variable called b, integer type is equal to 5, and f, one more variable, and float variables are declared here, a and c, eg, and the respective values are assigned. So here output file, so f open is this file is open, the test data, that is the name of the file, is open for writing purpose. So it is open for the writing purpose. And the out file f printf, what is the f printf? Generally whatever the values the variable is going to assign, that is going to be written over this test data. So here out file, percentage f, percentage d, and percentage f, abc. A value is 13.72 in float type, and b value 5, and c value. So all these datas are going to be written into this file. And f close, immediately you are closing that file. What is the file pointer name? Out file. So one more file also you are opening, it is in file. So opening for reading purpose, the name of the file again test data. So fscanf in file, again you are going to use 3 different variables. So whatever the this fscanf function is going to read the values in the test data. Already we are written some values over the test data here, that is a equal to 13 and b equal to 5 and c equal to 6.68. Those datas are now going to be assigned to this variable efg. So now efg is going to have, e is going to have 13.2, and f is going to have 5, and g is going to have 6.68. So this fscanf will read the data from the test data file, and it is going to assign to this variable efg. Thank you. So that's all about the file operations, file opening modes, and how to close the file. So any doubt?
No, sir.
No,
I
sir.
think now you can open for the
No, sir.
questions.
Thank you, sir.
No, sir.
It is not
Clear,
clear.
clear.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Doubts?
No,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
man.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, ask me any
you, sir.
question.
Thank you, sir.
You don't have any other doubts also? Listen, I have
No,
something
sir.
to say, like I have already given some assignment, that is like it is for the test purpose. I gave only 5 questions, right? And some of you are finished. Mostly within another couple of days, I am going to give one more assignment, okay, with some deadline. So every week we will have this live class. I will inform you before the day. Okay. So thanks for joining into this live session. Any other
Thank you,
question?
sir.
No issues, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank
Someone
you,
asked
sir.
in the beginning.
Sir, attend
Attendance.
Attendance, sir.
Attendance will be given, man. What attendance you are expecting?
Oh, no attendance, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Attendance will be
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, Corona,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
मेरे ओमियन
और भोसड़ी वालों
Thank you.